Welcome to Clustercast, going it alone together. I'm Kevin, founder of the Cluster co-working and event space in Summertown, mostly winging it with enthusiasm, questionable choices and industrial strength imposter syndrome. After starting my business solo, the advice of other going it alone entrepreneurs kept me sane, so I'm chatting to Oxford's indie business heroes. It's cheaper than therapy and far more fun. Join me as we trade stories, compare battle scars and revel in the joyful chaos of building something from nothing, together, even when we pretend we're doing it alone. So we have another episode of the Clustercast, and the aim of the episodes is to chat to different people from different walks of life, but also different businesses. And today we have Lorraine Berkshire-Roe here. Hello, Lorraine.
Hello, Kevin.
And we do know each other. We've met before. I think maybe
a couple of times.
Just a few times. And people have probably seen you and I together on social media and things like that. But I wanted to have you in today because I wanted to find out a bit more about what you do as a business, a bit more about you. The sort of things that you have encountered starting up your business, because I think your business is slightly different to the other people and companies that we've just chatted with. So basically, the floor is yours. Introduce yourself, tell us a bit about you, and also tell us the moment at which you decided to set up Lorraine Berkshire-Roe Illustrations.
Right. Well, yeah, I was thinking the same. I think it is a slightly different thing for some of the businesses because I've kind of never really thought of myself as a business in a way, but until I've done it this time. And this is actually the first time in my whole life I've actually been doing art full time, self-employed or as a business. I've worked in a design company before, like full time for 9 years. And I've been freelance, but I had always had like a part-time job for various reasons. I mean, going back, I went to art college, did illustration design, had a few years of finding myself, and sort of learning about life and things, and then moved to Oxford 30 years ago. And because I was thinking I need to sort of get something a bit solid. Within 6 months, I'd got a job in a design company, maternity leave, which turned into 9 years, which was fantastic. It was really fantastic because I was in the mid-late 80s at art college, and it was just before, I think some colleges had Apple Macs and stuff coming in, but we didn't.
Yeah.
So I started at the design company with illustration skills, and we had all the pens. It was all like
it's proper old school.
Visualizing. It was a packaging company, so we were doing visualizing, no digital camera, no email, and over that 9 years. It was actually, but over that 9 years, everything changed. And it was the best way to sort of to learn skills. Yeah. So I learned computer there because I was just in a room full of amazing people who had all the skills. And then life beat me up a bit. Yeah. Things happen. I had a period of illness and things, and I was made redundant, and that was 2005. And I kind of was a bit like, I wasn't ready for being fully self-employed, so I was doing freelance work, but I also thought it's quite stressful, design.
I've worked in a design agency. It is full on,
and I wasn't really up for kind of that full-on stress thing again. So I worked in a garden company for 2 or 3
nice
2.5 years until I had my daughter. It was kind of nice. I like plants. And then I was doing freelance, which was great. So I was doing educational publishing work and some local logos, all sorts of different things. But it was quite hard, actually. It was before my daughter, so it was just me doing my work. But actually, it was quite hard to mix the two things. So anyway, to go forward slightly, had my daughter, still doing a bit of freelance work. She went to school, really hard. Completely almost impossible to do deadlines when you have to be up at 6:30 every day. So I kind of put the commercial work out there. I decided, it was quite a hard decision, but I decided not to do commercial work. And I just did paper mache, which I was one of the things. I mean, I do ceramics now, and I did paper mache because I couldn't do ceramics. Yeah. But I did that, and I was at London Affordable Art Fair for about 8 years, which was made me feel like an artist. It was really nice doing something that was professional and being represented.
Being in that environment,
Yeah, and I used to feel really excited delivering the stuff every October and doing the odd art fair and my sketchbooks. Yep. Which
we'll come back to that.
So I started doing that when my daughter was about 8, and I realised I wasn't doing much drawing. So that kind of realising, that was probably the start of me realising I was really missing illustration. So that became a very big thing.
So it was I think it's fair to say it was quite a sort of, it evolved. It wasn't a light bulb moment. We've heard from people on this podcast that for a lot of people, there was something pivotal happened in their lives, either redundancy or an illness or something that made them decide to actually sort of change their career. But for you, you already had the skill set, you'd sort of trained in it, and then you decided gradually, actually, I've done this, I've earned the money, I've done PAYE, and actually I now want to go into doing illustration. But you didn't, is it fair to say you didn't take a sort of direct route to it?
No, because I mean, my Instagram handle is Lorraine BR Art Life. And I put that for purpose because it's like art. It's not art. It's not that art's my life. It isn't. Life is there. And sometimes it kind of, you can't always do it full time. I mean, it's a myth thing. It's not magic art. It's really hard work. Yeah. Illustration. And you have to put a lot.
I've seen the effort you put into it.
Yeah. And the sort of the practice and everything, and you, it's not something you can do when you're sort of, your mind's fragmented. So I kind of like, but I've always kept it going. It's like I love metaphor, but it's like spinning plates. That like I just kept that plate spinning, but there were other ones that I was concentrating on more, and I was always kind of keeping it. And I've always been quite good, I think, at noticing those moments where I'm not happy or I need to do something, or up it. So I was a teaching assistant. That's when I think I became a teaching assistant. I was sort of headhunted by my daughter's school, and I just did that for 8 years, which I loved, and actually did think about becoming a teacher at one point. I was offered. People offer me things, and I was thinking, should I go for it? Because I was going to say, there was one point about 2018, before lockdown, where I realised I wasn't kind of doing as much as I could, and I was a bit frustrated. So I thought I'd maybe do teaching, and then lockdown came along. It's probably a good decision I didn't, because there's quite a few things in my path. Anyway, lockdown came. It got to 2022, and I think this is the start when I really thought I need to do something because my daughter was getting older. Didn't have so much need to entertain her. I had a bit more time, so I started doing this Inktober prompt drawing challenge, which I talk about all the time, and evangelical about it, because I don't know what to do, and I was doing ideas I wasn't happy with, and I started doing this thing where they give you a prompt. It's a one-word prompt every October, and I decided to do it 2 days before it started, October 2022, and I did it different like word every day, and it was mad, and I loved it, and I just felt like it was the most exciting thing I'd done, and I was like, my brain was sort of like firing off again, and discovered I loved ink drawing.
So that sort of shuffled you forward and onwards to sort of start Lorraine Berkshire-Roe Illustrations. But I really have one question specifically about when you started your sort of business, let's call it that, because that's what it became. Is there a piece of advice that you would give yourself now, then, if that makes sense, when you were starting up? We've heard different things from different people, which is believe in yourself, know your brand, know your product, don't undersell yourself. But is there one piece of advice that you would give yourself to your younger self when you set up the business?
I think it was just that I'd go back and say you did the right things, because I'm worried at the time, because actually, well, I was about 2 or 3 years when I was doing lots of weekly drawings and things, and people would say, "What are you doing? You know, you need to get out there and do this." And I was like, maybe feeling unconfident, thinking, maybe I should, thinking that they were right, but not doing it.
To believe in the decisions that you've made.
Yeah, but I actually realised I think I wasn't ready. Yeah. And I did it. In the end, there just became a tipping point where I thought the teaching assistant job I loved, but it was getting more stressful, and I was getting that was becoming a bigger part, and I just thought, no, I want the art to come up, and I ended up giving my notice in. And it was almost, I didn't know what to do, and a friend said, why don't you just write the letter? So I wrote the letter, and then within a week I'd been into the head teacher's office, and it was handed over. It was weird. It was like, it was such a great advice though. It was like, do that. I just needed someone to start me off on that thing, and then it was like this train. I think, no, I need to stop. And that was the point, I think, where it was like I had the summer holidays left, and I didn't do much preparing for the business then, which again, I thought maybe I should have. I thought, no, I needed time. Again, I think it was going back and thinking, don't. It's all right to doubt yourself, but actually you were right. And actually, whenever I have a little voice going in my head, think, no, I know what's right for me, and I kind of understand what other people say sometimes. But I think I've made quite good decisions. It's about having faith in yourself, which is probably a similar.
I think that's a really nice thing to say to yourself as well, because I think when you're setting up a business, it's really easy. There's so much to do, and we've heard that from lots of people. And your instinct is to immediately stop and go, am I doing it right? Am I doing it like everybody else? So I think that's a really neat piece of advice. And off the back of that, with that piece of advice in mind, what's a good day for your, again, business? I feel odd calling it a business, but it is a business. What's a good day for you? And equally, what's the flip side of that? What is a bad day? What's not such a good day, let's say, maybe not a bad day?
Business side of it as well. That's the thing. It's like when on September 2024, when the summer holidays were over, I wasn't getting paid by the school anymore. I remember sitting in my shed thinking, wow,
I've got
I had
no money.
No routine. No, I've got no routine. What's my routine going to be?
Yeah.
I had about a few days where I was just sitting there, and then it was like, I've got to do stuff. And it was like, then I think it's realising that that's unavoidable. It's not just about sitting. Someone did say to me, it must be really nice for you now, sitting, drawing all the time. No,
I have to run a business. I have to make money. I have to promote myself.
And it's getting the balance, because a not so good day. Is that what we're talking?
So a good and a bad day.
A good and a bad day. I'm not going to say bad, but a frustrating.
Yes, that's a good word.
A frustrating day for me would be something where it's like I've got ideas. I want to do drawing and get my creative stuff done, but like I sit down in the morning and think I do a bit of admin.
Yeah.
And I keep this diary. I write down what I do each day. And sometimes it's at the end of the day. Sometimes I try and do it through the day because it's so many little things and I forget. Then I think, I've been so busy. What have I done?
You've not done
any
illustrating.
And I call it work soup. It was this sort of, and it's like sometimes the soup, you think, was that nice soup? Have I just been wasting my time? Sometimes, no, I got a lot of stuff done, but sometimes like, it feels never ending. Like this wave of stuff. And I think I feel like it's a bad day when I'm not in control of that and thinking I haven't maybe set enough routine or boundaries.
Okay.
Where a good day would be where it'd be nice sitting down doing a bit of admin and creating. But it's not just creating isn't the only good thing. It could be going out to meet somebody, but it's doing the thing I intended, I guess.
Yeah, as opposed to all the other stuff that comes with running a business.
Yeah.
And I'm nodding sort of knowingly because obviously you work quite closely with me.
Yeah.
And so you've seen my head slightly explode. And so I'm nodding because I understand that you can get so drawn in and caught up on all the practical admin side.
Yeah.
And I think especially for you, it's important for your brain to actually switch into a creative side. So that switcheroo is hard. Yeah.
It's not easy. And it's like, sometimes it's like, I can't just put, which is why I didn't do it when my daughter was young, because I had to prioritise her, because I thought, no, I can't just, and I did paper mache because that was something I could put down.
Leave and come back to
whereas illustration, I mean, I'm not making it some sort of like, but it's hard. You do need to, it's another metaphor. I think it's a bit like going into a fight or something. It could be boxing or any sort of competition where you kind of like have to get yourself in the mood. Do you know what I mean? You've got adrenaline going. You have to sort of get in that right frame of mind to sort of do your best. And it's not just because it's like you have to engage a really important part of your brain that you don't use in every day.
And I think if people go and see your work, they'll understand it more. It's not just a simple illustration. I mean, you've just done the commission for Creation Theatre and for their 30th anniversary, and I have to say that
danced there was around that one for ages, but actually realising now
huge amount of information,
a lot of that
and
was
thinking huge amount of thinking. And I think I'm only saying that because I'm encouraging people to go and look at your works, and I think that, and also go and see the commission that you did for me for the cluster, because I think they'll realise how much detail and how much thought and consideration. It's not just you've taken a picture and you've drawn it. You know, you've had to create this world, and I think that's what I love about your work, and that's why I champion you. And,
thanks, Kevin. Do you know, I've never been as confident as I have ever. As I am now about my abilities, and part of it is from like doing like 2 or 3 solid drawing. And actually, I'm a bit of a jack of all trades in a way, but I do like, I'm sort of good at quite a few things, but never give myself time to just do one thing. And actually, I think drawing is my thing, and actually, my brain is so happy. And I don't know. There's a book, the Lemony Snicket books, where you've got Violet Beauregard. No.
Baudelaire.
And I thought that's like me when she's kind of trying to think of something,
Yeah,
and she ties her hair up in a ribbon.
and you know she's thinking. Yeah.
And I go into this zone where it's like, it's so exciting. I think I'm not. I know my brain is working, and I know I'll work it out. It's kind of weird. It's like I've put.
It's
in
quite
stuff
fun
in.
watching, because I've watched it. I've watched some of it happen. And so with that. And I'm slightly loath to ask you to answer this question because you know what I Google on a regular basis. So is there anything, we've all talked about how we use business tools and startup tools and apps, but actually most of us either go to AI, ChatGPT now, or previously Google. So is there one thing, this is a bit of a weird question that I'll throw into here, but is there one thing you've Googled? What's the weirdest or most random or most unexpected thing that you've Googled?
Right, okay. It's really hard because this is obviously had this question before to think about. And I was like, I couldn't think of anything that's really weird. But I mean,
it doesn't have to be weird. It's just something we might find
interesting,
unexpected, or interesting.
Well, there is something that's in because when I do illustrations, I mean, I do the Inktober thing. I still do every October, and I do my own theme, and that's me. And that's the sort of thing I sell at art fairs because I do commissions. Then I do my own work, and the latest one was about celestial bodies, which I'm doing as my Art Week's exhibition in May, because I love things about the sky, stars, and all the myths, and it's just such an interesting thing. So it's the sort of thing where I love researching. So it's not so much a business side of it, but I just learned so much. And one of the things I thought, oh my God, you just realise there's things you thought you knew
that you absolutely didn't.
And I've researched about the cycles of the moon, the phases and stuff and I realised that a new moon is not, you cannot see it. It's not that crescent sliver. It was like, I thought I knew this.
I think that's probably quite current as well. Definitely it's just happened with the dark side of the moon.
But it was like, you can't actually see it. It's when it's completely in shadow. And that crescent thing is the crescent moon. That's not the new. And it sounds really silly. But actually, because I'm really interested in this stuff, and it made me realise there's so much.
I think out of all the answers, that is possibly the most intelligent answer I've heard of something that somebody's Googled. But I'm going to go and look through your search history because I'm sure there's some weird stuff in there.
Well, I didn't, Well, good luck.
Yeah. So I know you quite well, and we met when you came and had a craft stall at the Cluster.
Yeah.
But I've asked everybody on this podcast really if they have something that they do on a daily basis, and I think for you to basically keep them grounded or to keep them vaguely sane, in this sort of melee and madness of running a business. And I imagine for you that's even more important when you are, because all your artwork is dip ink, so it's with a nib and an ink. So there's a commitment there. Once you put ink to paper, you can't really undo it. So I'm wondering if there's something you do to ground yourself and take yourself away from that busy business side of yourself to then start illustrating. Is there something that you do that you could recommend that other people do or recommend that they don't do?
I don't know. I don't know if it's a daily thing. It's not one thing, but I would say it's making space between things.
No, that's really good.
And kind of like stepping away. So it could be going somewhere. I go paddleboarding. I mean, I've been quite wise the last few years about my hobbies as well, because so I go paddleboarding, and even if I do it up at Farmore, Reservoir, the Oxford SUP club, which is fantastic. But even if I go for Sunday social, it's like I'm not very social. I go up there,
just ignore everyone.
I
just want space to yourself.
I want space to myself, and it's like I can think, or I play ukulele. Oxford ukuleles. I've got too many hobbies, but maybe I'll just pick my ukulele up. Do you know what I mean? Step away, or kind of just go for a walk. And sometimes I do have days where I don't do those things, and that's when it's like
overwhelm.
Yeah.
I like the idea of creating different spaces, because everybody that's spoken has said they do different things, and actually the recurring theme seems to be give yourself space, whatever that is, whether that is an activity, whether that is being alone, whether that's being with other people, whether it's having a drink, whether it's going paddleboarding, whatever it might be. So give yourself space.
And I know if I'm getting stressed, and it's like, and I don't I wish it was nearer, but my real happy place is going to like White Horse Hill in Uffington, because it's like you go up there and it's just like suddenly you got this view,
and
it's like
it
when it's getting
gives
horizon.
you perspective.
Yes, yeah.
So I'm sorry we've had to whiz through.
That's
I'm aware of the clock, and I could talk to you all day. So, and I often do. Unfortunately for you.
And
so,
I talk back sometimes.
Yeah, we do. It's good. I'm not just talking to myself. And so for anyone listening that's interested in setting up a business, or is an artist who's looking at sort of expanding and not just doing it part-time or actually making a living from it, is there something you could say to them, sort of a genuinely useful piece of advice? So not necessarily a piece of advice you'd give yourself, but a piece of advice you'd give somebody that's looking at starting up a business, like kind of something pithy or something they can use on a daily basis or take away. If there isn't, that's fine.
No, I'll be trying to think. It's probably this. I think it's like you don't do everything at once. You know what I mean? Have a view, but also, I mean, people say to me again, "Oh, you could do this, you could do that." I thought,
That's me. I do that.
no, lots of people, and they're all really good ideas, and some of them I've already thought of, but I'm like, I can't, it's like there's not time, and I'm like, I kind of bookmark them, and it's about kind of like doing one thing at a time. It's like I started, so I started in the art fairs, and then it was like I mentioned to you, it's a few months in, about workshops, and it was like, I don't know what to do. He said, why? And you like, give me some text in a couple of months or something. It got me going, and it took a while, but then I got that going.
And now we're on chapter 5,
chapter 4 at the moment.
Chapter 5's in the making.
And there's other things I want to get things in shops. I want to do, but actually I know I can't do them all at once. I know it will kind of. I want to do what I do well, but I suppose it's knowing the right time to do it. Yeah. And I don't know, just.
No, I think that's a really, because I tend to do. I want to do everything all at once. You know that. Yeah. I know that. Anybody that works with me knows that. So actually, just choosing the things you do and doing them sort of at the right time with considered thought, as opposed to just throwing yourself at everything. Yeah,
it's like I like having, again, this spinning plate thing. That's a big thing. So I like having lots of plates spinning, but I kind of want it to be manageable. Yeah, and I want to have the right things on the plates as well. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it's, you know what I mean? There's no point, you're wasting effort if you've kind of done stuff and ends up on the floor. On the floor.
It's a great analogy, because I was trying to spin a plate the other day at Blenheim Palace, and it was really stressful. So it was just one plate. Yeah, it was a circus thing. So I always end the podcast with a random question, and I'm supposed to think about it on the spot, and I certainly have to, because this one says toast, butter. Yeah. That's irrelevant in this one. So here's a question. If you could, would you rather live without pen or ink?
Oh, that's interesting.
I know. So I threw. Well, I did the same one with Roshni, bless her. So
I would. Well, I pen.
Live without a pen.
But there's so many pens. What sort of, like a dip pen?
Any pen.
Any pen. I don't know. I'd have to have pens. Pens.
You could fashion your own pen out of a piece of twig.
You could, but then you can make ink as well.
Or quill.
Maybe you can make ink as well.
Oh, in other words, so my question's redundant, because you can do both.
I can make pens.
Who cares?
I can make ink.
You're like the Bear Grylls of art.
Is it just one pen, or is it all my pens?
Oh, I don't think I've thought this through. I've not thought this far through.
If I could keep all my pens, definitely pens. I would probably find it hard to choose one pen.
Also, I would never allow either of these things to happen as somebody that represents you as for your commissions.
No. Well, actually, my Rotring art pen, you can't actually buy them new anymore. It's like a fountain pen. I would keep that if I only had one pen. Okay. And I probably could use that as a dip pen as well, because it's a fountain pen. So if I run out of cartridges, am I out of cartridges?
So you've now ruined my question.
No, that's the ink,
it's fine.
Isn't it?
No, it's absolutely fine.
No, well, I was always going to go into too much detail.
It's
that's
fine.
Me.
We can that on another day. So listen, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. If people want to find you on Instagram, can you remind us of your Instagram handle?
Yes, it's Instagram at Lorraine BR _art.
Oh, it's those underscores.
_life.
It's those underscores. Yeah. They're always there, aren't they? I think I don't think I have got one. And then on your website, it's www.LorraineBerkshire-Roe.co.uk. Thank you. I should have known that. And you're available for commissions.
I am.
I have to say that.
I am over commissions. Yeah.
You've got a couple coming up. You've just done, obviously, we said creation.
Yeah.
And listen, thank you so much for coming on. And long may we work together.
Well,
and,
yes.
Thank you very much.
It will happen. Thank you, Kevin. It's
You're
been
very
really
welcome.
enjoyable.
So if you want to follow the podcast, find us on YouTube. We now have quite a few subscribers, so do subscribe for more updates, and there'll be another episode soon. Thanks, everyone. Thanks for listening to Clustercast. If you've enjoyed today's dose of entrepreneurial honesty and mild chaos, do stick around for more. You can find the podcast wherever you get your podcasts, watch the episodes on our YouTube channel, or pop over to clusteroxford.co.uk for the full Cluster experience.